Hello, welcome to a brief, gentle, kind of deeper stretching practice today. My name's Kailey. This is Sasha's butt right there. If you have a bolster, I highly recommend practicing with that in this class. If you prefer not to use props, that's fine too. You can do all of the poses without a prop today. Let's start. Go ahead and Meet me with your knees wide. We're going to come into a wide knee child's pose. So knees are pretty wide, big toes are close together. And then if you're choosing to use a bolster, you can slide it right between the knees here. Crawl out on your fingertips. Really press your fingertips into your mat to send your hips back towards your heels. And then bring some awareness into your rib cage. See if you can lift the ribs away from the pelvis as you continually walk the arms forward until your chest drops down. From here, I'm going to offer an option. If it feels good to keep the arms extended and drop your forehead straight down, by all means, go for that. But what I'm looking to create in my body is space in my spine. So I'm actually not too concerned with the arms. I'm going to stack my hands underneath the bolster and then rest on the right side of my head. When you find whatever version of this shape you're going to work with, let yourself start to settle in. And maybe some background noise over on my end. Maybe in your space as well. See if you can, if that's the case, let any of those sounds just kind of hit your eardrums. And move right along through. We'll see how loud it gets over here. See if you can start to send your breath into the sides of your ribs and into your lower back. And with every exhale, you might relax through the eyes a bit or ungrip around the mouth. Give yourself about 2 more long breaths right where you are. We're going to keep child's pose, but if you happen to be resting on one side of your face, go ahead and gently lift your head and nod your chin to the other direction. Just bringing some balance into the neck and the shoulders, settling back into your posture. And see if you can let yourself become 5 to 10% more comfortable here as you take a couple more long breaths. And gently start to walk the hands back in, lift the chest up. Hello. Someone's doing the opposite of a gentle yoga class right now. Work your way onto your belly. We're going to come into sphinx pose for a moment here. So you don't need the bolster for this one. Bring your feet hips distance apart or maybe even a little bit wider. And press the elbows down right underneath the shoulders. Let your chest pull through. And then do what feels natural with your head and your neck here. So you can experiment with the nose straight forward, maybe dropping the chin to the chest, maybe tipping the chin up. If you find a space where it feels good to stay, keep the head still and steady there. And just breathe into the extension in your back. If it feels better to bring a little bit of movement into your practice today, look over your right shoulder as you take a breath in. Look over your left shoulder as you breathe out. Eyes could be shut or gently open. You take your head through the center and then inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, drop your chin down. Head through the center, take a breath in. And then just a couple really gentle neck circles. They could be half circles, For my upper spine, it feels better to just take these little kind of U shapes with the chin. Meet in a still version. So find some stillness, feel into what feels kind of centered, with your head resting on those upper vertebrae. And see if you can breathe into the low belly. Tuck the pubic bone, just gently pressing it into the mat. Lift the chin on your last inhale here. And then slowly lower it down. Stack your palms so you have a little pillow for your forehead. Just rest the head down. You could wag the feet out or windshield wiper the lower legs. Feel into the low back as those spaces between the lower vertebra open back up. Take one more long breath with the spine in neutral. As you exhale, let go of some tension in the pelvis or the hips. You're going to stay on the belly, but take a quad stretch. So go ahead and lift back up into sphinx. Take your right hand, right forearm, and bring it to about a 45-degree angle. So right hand comes over to the left. Walk the feet hips distance apart here. And then the left knee is going to bend, so the left heel comes in toward your left glute. Tuck the tailbone so the pubic bone presses down, and you can reach back with your left hand, drawing that left foot in. Not forcing anything at all here. If it feels like a lot to stay up on your forearm, you can always lower the head back down. I actually prefer this variation, so kind of experiment with what feels best to your body today. And then if you need more stretch sensation here, really find that tuck to the tailbone, so pubic bone's pressing toward the mat. The knee is gently pressing downward, feeling that stretch in the front of the left thigh, from the hip all the way down into that patellar tendon across the front of the knee. Take 3 long breaths here. Last long breath. With your exhale, gently release the left leg. We're going to swap it out, but pause with both legs long for a moment. Observe any difference in the sensation between the left leg and the right leg. And then my left leg just feels a little longer after that stretch. And then when you're ready, you can set up that left arm at that 45-degree angle, bend into the right knee, and then reach back, touching the right foot. Trying to keep that right foot in line so that right thigh bone and shin bones are more parallel. And the knee is pointing straight back from the hip. You can stay upright with the chest, adding a bit of the spinal extension, or you might lower your forehead down. And then just breathe in a way that helps you connect to the stretch. Breathe in a way that invites that element of presence into your practice, into your body. Give yourself one more big breath. Gently releasing that leg with your exhale. And then just pausing, noticing the sensation in the knees and the ankles, the thighs, the shins. When you're ready, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. We're going to work all the way to downward facing dog. There's zero rush to get there. Zero rush. In fact, the slower you can go, the more mindful you can be along the way, the better. When you get to down dog, nice big bend into the knees. Press the hands down, press the chest back toward the thighs, so bring length into your spine. And let your shoulders lift toward your ears. So instead of trying to drag the shoulders onto the back ribs here, press the floor away, let the shoulders shrug up into the ears. We're going to kick the right leg up and then bend the right knee externally opening through the hip. Push the right hand down, but let that right leg get heavy, almost like you were going to try and flip your dog, but not quite. Stay stable. So the more you let that right leg kind of flop over to the left, the more you'll feel that quad stretch again in the front of the right thigh. Re-extend your right leg, take a breath in, and then we're going to step the right foot through between the thumbs, drop the left knee down. Reach the right arm open, so you're finding a little twist here. And then lower the right hand back down. Lift the chest, lift the arms, bend the elbows. Of course, I set up so my head's cut off here. Breathe in. And then release the hands back down. Straighten out the front leg a little bit. I'm not going to hold the half split, so nice slow moving forward, bending into the front knee, and then back, straightening out that front leg. A little bit more dynamic movement for a moment here. The next time you've got the knee bent, go ahead and pause. Drag your left toes back a bit, lift the left knee, and then rock forward and backward. You could move the right hand to the inside of the right foot at this point. Press down through the right big toe. From here, we're going to set up swan pose, which is basically half pigeon, but with the chest lifted. So when you're ready, lower that back knee, heel toe your right foot over to the left, and then drop the right knee down, stretch back through your left leg. Keep your fingers somewhere in front of you, under the shoulders, and lift the chest up. So we're coming back into a back bend, a very gentle one, but it might feel pretty intense. Think about lengthening the crown of the head away from your breastbone here. Take another long inhale. You could stay right here. We'll be here for about 5 to 10 big breaths. Or you can bring your bolster in front of you, walk your hands forward, maybe make that little pillow underneath the bolster by stacking your hands, and then rest on the left side of your face. If that feels awkward in your neck, you can bring the forehead straight down or rest on the right side of your face. Every time you land, you make these little adjustments and then allow the body to find some stillness. You can absolutely adjust if you feel intense discomfort or pain. You can leave the pose entirely. But if you feel okay, allow your body to melt into stillness and then breathe in a way that helps you feel a bit more connected to the stretch. Take 2 more long breaths, breathing into the belly gently. Finish that second exhale. And then start to walk the hands back in, press the palms down if you were folded into sleeping swan. Shift your weight to your right leg. Bring your left leg around in front of your right shin. Left ankle and heel is right in front of the right shin. Interlace your fingers on that left shin, and then pull the chest through the arms here, straightening out your spine for a moment. Bring your left fingers back behind you, reach your right arm up, lengthen the spine even more, press your sit bones down gently, and then twist over to the left. You can catch the left knee with the crook of the right arm. Same as we did in Sphinx, if it feels good to look slowly from shoulder to shoulder. or to take those little gentle half circles with the neck. Likewise, sometimes it feels better to just pause and find stillness, either keeping the chin in line with the breastbone or working your gaze toward your back shoulder. See how long down the spine you can send the breath. Can you breathe down into your lower back? Look forward, take a breath in. Unwind your twist, bring your legs back behind you. Come to a tabletop as a transition. Always feel good kind of rolling out through the wrist here, circling the shoulders over the wrist, or maybe cat-cow a couple times. Just a little kind of intermission to do whatever feels right in your own body. And then we're going to meet up in a downward facing dog. Same thing, there's zero rush to get there. When you're ready, peel your knees up off the mat. Play around with bending into the knees so that you can really stretch the spine long here. And then we'll lift the left leg, bend into the left knee, find that quad stretch by pressing your left hand down, but letting that left leg drift behind you over to the right. And point the left knee straight up toward the ceiling. It doesn't matter if it's actually pointing up toward the ceiling, just that energetic alignment will give you that big quad stretch. Stretch the left leg back, take a breath in, and then step the left foot between the thumbs, drop the right knee down. Left arm opens on an in-breath. Left hand drops back down as you exhale. Lift the chest, bend the elbows, pull the heart through on an inhale. And then release the hands around the left foot, straighten the left leg out a bit. Our little dynamic stretch here, bending and straightening through the left knee. You might walk the hands with you back and forward. Add an awareness of your breath. So you don't necessarily have to be breathing with the posture. It doesn't have to be an inhale on the way forward and an exhale on the way back or something. It could be. But just being mindful that you are breathing is actually probably quite enough to create that mind-body connection. The next time you've walked forward, tuck the back toes, the right toes if they weren't, lift the right knee, bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot, heel toe your left foot out to the left of it, and then rock forward and backward. And press down to the left big toe, left knee is tracking in line with the toes. Option if your wrists are feeling funky to come up onto your knuckles. Really moving through that back foot and ankle, and then gently relaxing the back knee down, heel toeing your left foot across to the right, setting up for swan. This side's a little different in my body. It takes a little bit more sussing out. So we all have some asymmetry and some quirks from right to left. Find ways to honor those and let the stretch benefit you without trying to yank your body into an alignment that's just not natural. Take a few breaths with your chest lifted. You can absolutely stay right here. You relax the face and the eyes, or if you want, you can walk the arms forward on a bolster or not. If you choose to drop the head all the way down, we looked over toward the right last time, so look toward the left. And let your awareness be drawn to sensations in the body. Notice those pockets where the stretch is most intense. So you can send a little breath into those areas, connect to the stretch, connect to the muscles, the energy. Give yourself 2 more big breaths here. Be ungripping through the shoulders or the neck as you exhale. 1 more long breath. And start to lift the chest. If you are folded in your sleeping swan, shift weight toward the left sit bone. Bring your right leg forward, right foot drops in front of the left shin. Root the right sit bone down, so even out your weight between your sit bones. Interlace your fingers on that right shin. Lift the chest, lift the crown of the head. And then bring your right hand back behind you. Left arm comes up, gently pressing your right foot down. And then find your twist, hooking that top knee with your left arm. Figuring out what feels best for your head and your neck today. That could be some of this gentle movement, or it might be setting your eyes softly to one spot. Maybe resting your gaze on the tip of your nose or closing the eyes down. Look forward, take a breath in. Untangle your legs. Lie down onto your back. Keep the knees bent for a moment. Bring your feet to the edges of your mat or to a little wider than hips distance if you're not on a mat. Point the toes in and then drop the knees against one another. You can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Just take a breath or two. When you're ready, extend one limb at a time into Shavasana, maybe one leg at a time, one arm at a time. When you land, you can nod the head slowly side to side, kind of shimmy out through the shoulders, shake out through the feet, and just allow the body to continue to kind of nestle in to your resting pose. When you feel ready, let it settle into stillness. Do a really casual scan of the body as different parts of your body are mentioned. And just imagine those areas relaxing, ungripping, beginning by bringing your awareness to the crown of the head, relaxing the scalp, the forehead, and the temples. Bringing your awareness to the space between the eyes, relaxing the eyes, relaxing down through the mouth, the lips, the tongue, the jaws, moving down the neck, the sides of the neck, the front of the throat, the back of the neck, washing that relaxation down across the shoulders, letting the full length of the arms rest easy at your side, finding a softness in the palms and the fingers, softening through the rib cage at 360 degrees, front ribs, side ribs, and the back. Continuing down through the sides of the waist and the belly, letting go of any gripping or holding in your belly. Moving down and relaxing the pelvis, down through the thighs and the knees, the lower legs, the ankles. Letting go of any tension in the tops of the feet, and the soles of the feet. Finally softening all the way into the tips of each toe. letting your awareness come to the surface of your body, come to your skin, feeling any sensations on your skin, the temperature or movement of the air, the pressure of the floor underneath your body. And start to bring some movement back into the body, maybe nodding the head, wiggling or stretching. Taking your time to transition to either side, pausing in a little embryo pose on either side, letting yourself kind of reorient there. And then when you're ready, pressing the floor away to come back to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart, pause for a moment, acknowledging yourself for showing up for your practice today, for setting a little time aside for physical, mental, emotional well-being. We'll take one last cleansing breath together here. As you inhale, let your lungs fill, let your ribs lift, let your shoulders shrug up into the ears. Sip in a little bit more breath there. And then let it go. Thank you for sharing some time with me and my dog that probably needs her toenails clipped. I hope that you have a great rest of your day.